Hey everyone, welcome back to A Life of KG. Today's episode, we're talking all about taking a break from your business. So can you take a break from your business? Can you not? What does that look like? And what my opinions are on this subject, which you might find quite interesting. I also want to shout out to our event in April, the 28th of April. We're doing our live event all about marketing made easy. I only have a handful of tickets left, so I will pop the details in the show notes below and you can go and grab yours, but be quick because there's only a few left. See you then. I want to give a shout out to Sky Premium Life products. Now, you will know from last year that I was testing all of their supplements and I absolutely love them. They were a sponsor on this podcast last year and they also are this year. I have tried all of their supplements, from collagen to their hair tablets to they've got focus tablets, anything that you need help on with your body system functioning, whatever that is, they have help. And I just love them all. I would highly, highly recommend them. We also started selling it within our business, making extra money in the salon with retailing the products. And because they're extremely reasonably priced, clients are loving them. Lots of my clients were also using them and they're selling them in their businesses too. So if you want to grab a discount, you get 15% off their products. The link is in the show notes. If you want to sell it within your business, reach out and I'll tell you exactly how to do that, or you can just message them directly. But I highly, highly recommend you take these for your own well-being. And I also recommend, if you have a business, that you're selling it within that too. Hi, everyone. So we have been putting out on socials any questions that you guys want me to answer. So then we can actually do episodes on it and give you a good long answer and what my views are with that. So the first question that come in was someone asking if they could take a break from their business. So they wanted to take a break for a month to just reset their self and then come back to it, I guess, after a month's time.
What's your reaction to that?
No.
Point blank, no.
Oh,
why not?
It's a tricky one, right? Because don't get me wrong, everyone deserves a break. But when you're an entrepreneur, a small business owner, a salon owner, run your own company, whatever that looks like, but you're working for yourself in some shape and form, you can't take a break, as in like fully switch off. You can obviously take a break from not physically being in the business. So if you're doing like the whole service-based business and you're in a salon, for example, doing lashes, nails, etc., I'm not saying you can't have a break from that 100%. But switching off completely, like a light switch from the business, like I'm going to be off for now a month, or I'm going to be off for a whole week, or whatever that looks like. I don't think that's possible. If you're a real deep entrepreneur, that's not possible.
Yeah. If you step away fully, then who's looking after it?
Exactly. So I think you could take me as quite a good example, because I've got the whole freedom-based business. Mm-hmm. With all three of my companies, I don't do the day-to-day stuff. Like we've obviously got teams to help us, right? Yeah. But if I travel, which we do quite a lot, I still check my emails, like my important emails. I'll still check in with team. I'll still be actively thinking about things. But for me, that is still switching off. Like if I go on holiday, that's a complete switch off, but still doing the things I think that someone that runs a business should do.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. But do you think, like, it depends what this person means as taking a break? Like, it might be, like you've just said, I know you do when you're away, you'll do your emails, you'll reply to messages. If clients message you, you're dealing with that no matter where you are in the world. Mm-hmm. But to you, that doesn't really feel like work because you enjoy it.
Yeah.
But say somebody doesn't enjoy, they really do want to just not check their emails, they don't want to deal with their social media, do you think then it comes to a point of like, it isn't a break situation they need, it's a help situation that they actually need a break, as in to take someone on to take that part of their work away from them.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why I do think it depends where you are in business. I don't want anyone to get this wrong. Like, there's self-employed and there's business owners. That's how I look at it. Just because you're self-employed doesn't necessarily mean that you're a CEO business owner, because you haven't got anyone else to fall back on. So, for example, if you do nails at home,
yeah, if you're on your own,
100,000,000%, you can still have a complete break. You can go and say, I'm going to go on holiday for a week. I'm not going to answer any DMs or messages, and I can pick all my clients back up after a week. Yes, of course you can do that. You can still have a complete break from that. If you told me I want a month off, then you could also do that. But as long as you've got the business backed up to do your clients when you come back off that month. So you only need a set amount of clients, right, to make sure that you're full, people are coming back in. But if you are an entrepreneur, business owner, have teams, etc., more so in like my position, or you're building to my position, that is impossible.
Yeah.
And yeah, you do have that like, I love it, like work is my self-care, so I will carry on doing that. But what my thing is if you want to build a business, you can't just be like, I'm building, I'm stopping, I'm building, I'm stopping. And that life isn't for everyone. That's the thing. I think people think, oh, well, you do it, or this person does it, so why can't I do it? Like, not everyone is made the same or has the same visions or anything like that. So it just depends, like, how you are and what you want, I guess. Does that, I don't even know if any of this makes sense.
No, it does make sense. But I think it is important to note that people might look at you and think, well, you've got all your teams and, you know, you're doing well. And they obviously, they'll see you go away online and things like that if they're watching you on socials. But the thing is, what people don't see is that you actually don't stop, even if you're with the kids. Like, no. You'll limit your time. So if you've got something to do, you've booked something for the day, then yeah, you will switch off. But as a general rule, you are always checking your phone.
Yeah, I'm always checking in. I think what the main thing to look at is, I'm with a coach at the moment and he calls it something. I think it's like switching off. I think it's like running the tap on and off, something like that type of analogy. And he's like, say, for example, Christmas. Everyone wants 2 weeks off Christmas, right? Or roughly that's kind of like what everyone would love to have. And we build up for that. Everyone starts to like take that Christmas break. Now, we know Christmas is coming, so we'll put things in place so it looks like we're still going. So emails will be scheduled out, our socials will be scheduled out, so it looks like we're still going, right? So we know a lot of that work is taken off us, but we then know, okay, we're going to have to check the messages that come in after that, or any other extra bits that come. So we've lowered the tap of running because lots of things are scheduled to have more of a break, but there are still things we have to generally keep on top of day to day, regardless if it's Christmas, Easter, or however that looks like, summer holidays. There's still something. Little things that you have to do. You can't switch off completely, is what I mean by not switching off.
Yeah. You still got to be a little bit there.
And if you're a planner, and you should be, or try to be if you're in business anyway, so you can see what's coming ahead in the diary. You know when Christmas is, you know when your birthday is, you know when you want to go away on holiday, you know if you're off like me on the summer holidays, you know when that's coming. So why prep everything throughout the year to be able to be, okay, I'm off for 6 weeks with my children, let's schedule and make sure all the big things are done, planned, so don't have to worry. So say, for example, we're launching something in September, I will make sure that we're planning that in like June.
Yeah.
So then I don't need to worry that I'm having them 6 weeks off with my kids. Now I'm now saying 6 weeks off with my kids, but I'm still will be there to check in.
Yeah.
I still will pick things up. So I'm off. I feel free. I feel completely free. And I will fully hold my hands up and say I'm having 6 weeks off with my children. But that's off as a business owner can be off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, prime example, I'm sure she won't mind me saying, Helen. Helen owns a salon in Kent and she's doing incredible. And she went to Thailand for a whole month. And I'm sure if Helen come on now, she would say she was off. She had the most amazing time with her family and her children. But she still checked in with her salon. She still was putting the odd bits up. So, you know, she had, it's incredible that she's created that freedom to be able to have the month off, but there was still business things that had to be done that she did while she was away.
Yeah. And I think it's amazing as well to think that you actually can work anywhere in the world.
That's the best bit, right? That's where freedom comes in.
Yeah. You got to take the good with the bad, haven't you?
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what business that you have, you can create that type of freedom in a business if you want to.
Come on then, how are they going to do that?
Well.
Say someone wants 2 weeks off in Turkey, they're a salon owner, they do have a team, not a big team, and they want to have a break. They feel burnt out, which a lot of salon owners will definitely resonate with that word. They're burnt out. They want a break. They want a 2-week holiday. How are they going to do that?
Well, if you've already got a team, regardless if that's one person or 10 people, you 100% can do that. Like, you know, making sure that your clients are happy to go to other people and not necessarily wait until you come back. And that's a lot of reason where people go wrong, because everyone will hold their clients. And so then if you was to have a break, sometimes like, what's the point? Because I'm crazy busy before I go. So then when I stop, I'm poorly. And then when I come back from my holiday, I'm then chock-a-block again. So actually, what's the point of going on holiday? Whereas what's missing there is not training, I'd say is the best word, training your clients.
That prep.
Yeah, that whatever therapist or hairdresser you go to will give you the same quality as I do. And if you don't believe that, then you need to do some work with your team, some maybe extra training, or get them to the standard that you want them to get to, because that won't happen if you don't believe your team can take over and you can fully rely on them. That's where the barrier will happen. But if you like truly believe that your team are as good as you or nearly as good as you, then there's no reason why all of your clients for that week or 2 weeks that you're off can be done by your team, and then you can have your break completely. And always just have that one point of contact. So if you do have more people than one in the team, have one point of contact. So if anyone needs to contact you when you're away, you're just talking to one person rather than your phone going from Sally and your phone going from Helen and your phone going from wherever. Like, just have one point of contact. But what I also done is I said, unless it's an emergency, and I mean an emergency, don't call me. And write a list that week or 2 weeks that I was off. If there was anything that went wrong but wasn't an emergency or something they thought, did I do that right? Then just write it down and we'll work through the list when we get back. If there was something that they wasn't sure of what to do, I always said to them, do what you think I would do in that situation. If you mess up, you mess up. It's part of learning.
Yeah, exactly.
But we need to let our team make mistakes. We need to let them learn and grow. So then when you are in these situations, you're away or something happens, and they know how to handle it. And this isn't even just about having a break when it comes to holidays, right? This is if, God forbid, anything happened to you as a business owner. If for some sad reason you ended up in hospital, or you did get ridiculously burnt out that you physically had to stop working and have time out, you need to make sure you have these things in place to know that then can happen. I know if God forbid anything happened to me tomorrow, majority of the company would still run.
Yeah, it'd still be just fine. Yeah, exactly.
Just won't get you one-to-one coaching sessions.
Yeah, they'll miss out on that. I was just thinking then when you were talking, do you think it's normal for business owners to sort of feel resentment at times when it comes to like their employees or even like their friends that are in employed roles or family members? They can just like take their annual leave and there's no prep needed with that. It's just, oh, I'm going to have a week off next month.
Yeah.
And that's it, gone. Do you think business owners feel a little bit of resentment, although I'm sure they love their businesses, but they sort of feel like, oh, I wish I could just do that?
Yeah, because I do.
Well, there you go then.
I do, especially if, you know, business is up and down, roller coaster, taking all different turns. And sometimes you'll be like really hyped that you're in businesses and this is great and I've created the best life. And then the week after you might be like, oh my God, like I wish I could just go and get a job.
Yeah.
And I don't think it matters how far you are in business, you always have them thoughts. So when people do have time off, they put in their annual leave, they get it, and you know, even if they're going away for just a long weekend, I'll be like, oh my God, they get to go away for a long weekend and obviously fully deserve it. But they won't get contacted. They can physically switch off the second they walk out that door to the second they come back in. They can fully switch off. And I always think, wow.
You'd like a piece of that.
Imagine that. But then the other part of me goes, what would I do?
Yeah.
Because I'm built differently. Like, I don't know. I couldn't just, I don't know, not do nothing. Because you go on holiday and have the best time. Like, I'll go and have the best time. But even on that downtime, I'd be like, oh,
yeah,
what do I do now? But I've even said this about maternity, and maternity is a big one actually. And sometimes I feel bad for it, but I'm like, okay, with both of my children, I had 2 weeks off. And again, even in that 2 weeks off wasn't off, right? Well, I think there was still a team meeting that happened in them 2 weeks. Like there were still things that happened, but I had 2 weeks off where I wasn't physically going in or booking calls or whatever that looked like. But then I went back after 2 weeks and I'm doing business with a baby. I've done this twice now. So then when girls have maternity and they have their 6 months off, some have a year off, depending on whatever suits them and their family, I'm like, wow.
What do you do all that time?
Wow. What's it like to wake up and not have to think of anything but what food you're giving your baby?
Yeah.
Like, oh, like what play centre should we go today? And I'm like, wow. Like, and I'm fully envious of that.
Yeah. But I think that that's quite natural.
So just imagine switching off for a year and be like, it's just going to be me and my baby now for a whole year. Like, that's super special, like super special. And if you're employed, that is something not to take for granted, because that's just the most special time with you and your baby and your bond, and all the things you can do and relaxing after building this baby in your belly and making this baby and labour. Let's not even go there. You need a year off after pushing it out. But
I've got all that to look forward to at some point.
I know, you're lucky thing. But then, to have a full year off or even 6 months off or even 3 months off, I think is like a magical thing. But I am like, oh my God, imagine if I had that. But then you go back to your other head and you're like, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I'm sure I'd be able to fill the time. But business can't stop like that. Me as a CEO, I can't physically go, I'm off for a year now, guys. Don't contact me for a year. I have nothing to do with the business for the year. So crack on, because everyone needs some type of guidance, no matter how free flow your business works.
Yeah.
You need that guidance. And that's why we're still there. And plus maternity leave pay, right? I'm sorry, I'm not living on that.
Yeah, when you told me how much that was, I was horrified. I don't know how anyone survives on that.
I don't know how anyone survives on it.
Especially if you're on your own.
like moi. So
Hmm.
yeah, I would rather earn the money and have a good life.
Yeah.
But
But
everyone's situation is very different.
yeah,
So
it is. I was just about to say that. And it's like a catch-22, isn't it? Because maybe employees of people's businesses might look at their boss and wish that they had their life and that they could go and work anywhere they wanted and things like that. So it's like, but then they get the maternity leave, whereas you don't. And it's all like I don't know, you have to take the rough with the smooth
yeah,
with,
there's
with all of
pros
it.
and cons to both. And it comes down to mindset, and no
Mm.
mindset is right or wrong. Like, no mindset is right or wrong. If you're employed and you've got that mindset, amazing. Be the best employee you can be.
Mm-hmm.
If you're self-employed and you work from home or rent space, amazing. Be the best that you can be at that. And if you're a business owner, CEO, then again, be the best that you can be at that. There's only like 2 or 3% of people that actually make it as a business owner. And when I say business owner, that's having teams building a business, not self-employed.
Yeah. That is quite a scary figure. Did you say 3%?
Yeah, 2 to 3%. Like, that definitely comes down to the mindset though of people, and it's just, that's a stat, it's not made up. Like, how many people can actually be business owners? It is definitely not for everyone.
No, it's not. Well, I know it's not for me. You've got to have a certain resilience for that.
But I think that's another thing, right? You always say, Kate, I don't want my own business, or
Mm-hmm.
business isn't for me. But I always say, like, that's not a weakness. People can be amazing in the roles that they have. Why do you have to have a business?
Yeah.
Like, it just depends how we're built, what we want to do with life, what life looks like to us, to what we decide to do. But I think just because someone has a business, it doesn't mean that they have a business. You can be like incredible in a role, and
Oh,
that's like okay.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's because I see it from both. Well, I have you as like I work with you, so I
Mm.
see the ins and outs of you. And then I've got Phil, my partner. I see the ins and outs of him in a totally different industry. But you two are like two peas in a pod. Like you don't both obviously do totally different things, but you're both business owners and you're so similar. It's unreal. So there's definitely something in that. I don't know whether you guys are born like that or things that have happened in your life make you become that person. I don't know the real answer to that, but I know I don't hold those traits that you two have. My stress threshold is way lower.
Mm.
I will have a meltdown. I will freak out about stuff. Whereas you guys are you do have wobbles, but you deal with it in a different way.
Yeah, a lot of it does come to stress load, I think,
Yeah.
which is why that percentage is so high, right? The people, if I think it's like 2 or 3% of people, business owners, successful business owners, don't close their business. That's what 90 something percent of people that decide to give up.
Yeah.
And that's definitely because this is too hard, or it's not quick enough for me. I'm not getting the results quick enough because business is a long game. Or this is way too stressful and I'm happy a lot, so I'll pack it up. And all of those are valid reasons. But yeah, it all just depends what you can take.
Yeah, no, definitely. It definitely comes down to the individual, that's for sure.
Definitely. But I would love to know your opinions on this, those that are listening. If you agree, if you don't agree, do you switch off, and what does that look like? Maybe you're too scared to switch off or too scared to have that break. Then reach out and maybe I can help you implement some things in there so you can have a break, because as much as we might not switch off completely, we can still switch off. We can still lower how much we need to put out there or how much our brains need to work.
And prep everything beforehand.
Prep everything beforehand. So yeah, we would love to know your opinions on this, and feel free to reach out.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you do have any questions that you want us to go over in the podcast, please message us, and we will get them answered in our episodes coming up.
Are you a trainer with a salon or an academy and would love to grow with government funding, but just need some help and support? Or maybe you're somebody that would like to start your own academy or even just train. Get in touch today with TMB to help you on this journey. See our link in the show notes.